Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me here again on another absolutely fantastic day to be alive. Oh goodness, look who it is! It's the fireman. It is Fast Eddie G. Haven't seen him in forever, and it's Aiden. Beloved friends, thank you for joining me, for sharing this space with me. Zoberb! Zoborg breaks things herself. I wish I knew who that was. Sounds like some sort of Terminator-esque, you know, destructor bot or something. Thank you for joining me, friends. Hey again, my friend, how are you doing? What's up, Thick Thor? You asked what's up before I was here, dude. So right now, at this moment, there's quite a few things up, friend. Like things have been happening. Things have been happening. It's been such a blessed experience learning, like actually being a student learning things that I'm actually interested in learning as well, like that's I think something that I definitely had to adjust to. Most of the stuff that I've had to learn in my life, I kind of did under duress because I didn't have a choice. Now I actually get to choose, to learn something, and the things that I'm learning, I believe actually has the ability to help not only me but other people as well, which is usually I like learning things. I do. I really do like learning things, and I spend a lot of my time doing research and finding different sets of information. But now, for the first time, I feel like the information I'm learning is going to be directly useful in helping people. In this context of yoga, I had the opportunity to like pseudo give my very first class today, which was very very nice. I was mildly intimidated, but I think it turned out pretty well. At least according to my teacher, I did. Brother Ryan himself. Shannon, thank you for joining me, my friend. It's so nice having you here. Thank you for the helpful, fast, steady. Ryan, Brother Bear, thank you for joining me here. Sup, dude? I'm doing well, Mr. Fireman. How are you doing, friend? How was that leg treating you? Has it gotten any better? Do you know anything, new technology coming out or something that can help you with stuff like that? Do let me know as well. I made it early today. You're here, friend. Right now, you are here. Just think about that, and realize that you can't be anywhere else. Never mind in the stream, just here at this moment. And I'm going to keep knocking on that until I really understand it for myself as well. But before I do, let's read something worth saying. So that even if you just hear these words, even if you just say these words, even if you leave right now, at least you got something from it. And this is the one I open up to. So, okay, yeah, this is definitely the one. It goes, the very life you are living is equal in power and majesty and effectiveness to any life that has ever been lived. Hmm? How does that make you feel, friend? Like, genuinely, how does that make you feel just to hear those words? The very life you are living is equal in power, majesty, and effectiveness to any life that has ever been lived. It's this understanding, this admittance, this belief that this life you're living is a good one. no matter what comes along with it, no matter the financial situation, no matter the traumas, no matter the difficulties in situations, difficulties in relationships, this life is equal in majesty, effectiveness, and power to any other life that has ever been lived. Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, Schmarcus Aurelius. Our lives, friends. Like, we're living this life. And I believe that we're so lucky. Like, I would use the word lucky to be living in the life that we're living right now. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff happening in the world. We can all agree on that. It's been difficult for a lot of us, with COVID kind of keeping us separated from one another. And yet, that almost forced separation caused us to, as humanity, come together in a way that we've never got like came together before. We're utilizing this internet, this tool, the technology that we've been given for good, for unity, for connection, for information being shared. And what we try to do in this space is share good information. We want to celebrate life. Like, today's title is what? Day 445. It's great to be alive, or it's great to be alive. I can't think that it might be that basic. I wouldn't put my past myself. It's great to be alive. Together we thrive, and we do. Like, literally, there is no living life alone. This life you're living right now is interdependent on the water you're drinking, on the trees, around you providing oxygen, the grass, the plants, and these grass and plants, provide food for different little critters, and those little critters provide food for little bigger critters. Goes all the way up, goes all the way down, and no matter where you find yourself, you are smack dab in the middle, as the infinity, as the eye that peers into the other side of the infinity. But no matter where you are in the middle of it, friend. Realize that. Realize that you cannot escape this moment. No matter where you go, you're gonna be here. Just here. Here in this moment. Maybe maybe that will be our intention for today's joint. Here. To be here. How do you feel about that? Some reason this looks wrong. Here. Here is E-R-E, right? Like, for some reason, when I write things down like this, my brain is like, no, it's wrong. It's wrong that it is. I'm like, no, it's not, because if you add a W to that, it's where. And my brain is like, fine. Like, fine, maybe you do know how to spell. I made it early. Thank you, Aiden, for joining me. The only one. You are beautiful. Thank you, friend, for joining me. I went to Casio ceremony a couple of weeks ago. Cacao ceremony a couple of weeks ago. Thank you. Dude, I'm happy that you're saying that. And it's so crazy to me that you mentioned that as well, Mr. Fireman. Because I want to slash wanted to like buy some cacao blocks from this place called Lava Love and bring it into South Africa. But it is so expensive. I think it's gonna cost me was and I was like, bruh, bruh, you don't have that kind of money. And even if you can like get some people to help you, get your parents or whatever to help you, what if you don't manage selling them? But tell me more about this cacao ceremony you went on. I would love to do that as well for people. Cacao has a compound in it. It's somewhere in my brain. I tried to find it for a second, but it's hiding right now. And that compound basically has this effect where it influences your heart, makes your heart feel a little bit more open on a very visceral, physical, and emotional level. And then by drinking this cacao, and it's strong, like, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna drink like a hot chocolate. You drink that cacao, and it feels like it punches you in the face, in a good way. Imagine a good getting punched in the face by this, loving entity that is the mama cacao. And then you basically get into this experience, and it just feels warm. Like, I've had a cacao ceremony experience as well by myself, or technically it was at a festival, and it was beautiful, and I never even knew that there was a thing. And then recently I went on online, and I kind of found, I think it was a Vice video, or was it? No, it was Business Insider, where they did an interview with the people that is now running this cacao business. And there I was like, yeah, this needs to be done. And I sent them an email, on their main site, asking them to send me some quotes, and I think it took like 3 weeks, and then the email eventually came through, but I haven't sent them a message again. Now you're influencing me, friend. Now I'm considering it all over again. Thank you, Mr. Fireman. I appreciate you, Jacob. Thank you for joining us. You're a great person. No, you. Hey, bro. Hope you're doing well. I used to watch you on your smaller streams. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's so nice to have you here again. I mean, like smaller streams. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean. We definitely are doing doing the thing. Like I feel like the streams still are small because at the end of the day, it's just you and me. And then if you really want to get complicated about it, it's just you. It's just you, friend. You're the one eliciting this response right now. You're the one experiencing, you're the one hearing, you're the one feeling into what's being said. And like as long as you're willing to admit that to yourself, that you're the one in control, you're the one in power, then no matter how large these streams become, you'll always know that you're loved. You'll always know that you're secure in the space, that you're safe, that you have the ability to be yourself. And I'd encourage that, friend. If you have anything to share with us, if you need to reach out to someone, anybody in this chat, literally, well, uh, you know, any of the regulars in the chat would be more than willing to help you, friend. If you want to reach out to me, I'm more than willing to help you as well. We're here for you, friend. We would much rather, hear from you, hear about the stuff that's bothering you, hear about the issues that you're having, than not, hear from you ever again. And I want you to know, friend, that this experience that we're having, it can be intimidating. It can be. Absolutely. If you look at the amount of change that has happened in our life already, just in the few years that we've been alive in, you can clearly see that there is some stuff going on. You know, a lot of stuff is going on. And we get ourselves so worked up by the stuff because we think we are not in control of them. And you're right. You're not in control of it. What you are in control of, however, is the way that you perceive these things, the way that you feel about them, in realizing that you're the one in power. I mean, this is Stoic wisdom. It's literally ancient Stoic wisdom. Men are not so much bothered by things, but about their perceptions of things. And I've said this 3 streams in a row now, but your brain and your body work together to create this experience for you, right? But your brain is basically conveying, that's the word, your body. And your body doesn't know the difference between, good information or bad information. I've misplaced my Garrett. bruh, where did it go? It's pink, so it should be easy to find, right? This is not in my control. How I react is in my control. Dude, am I gonna have to stand up? No, there it is. Found it. Okay, good. So your brain and your body are always, in relation to one another. The way your body feels if you're extremely emotional, almost getting a little bit anxious, that creates a chemical response and that feeds into your brain. But your brain feeds information into your body, and your body basically uses that to produce a state of existence inside of you. So when you see things in the outside world, when you perceive things, you create an opinion, you create a response of inside of yourself. You might see a bee, you might be extremely allergic to that bee, and then instantly you create a response of fear. You create a response of, I'm in danger. And then, because that is the perception that you've created inside of your mind, your body responds to that danger. It's like, oh shit, I need to get out of Dodge because I am in danger. And then you literally experience that feeling of danger, that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of angst, where another person who might not be allergic to the bee sees that bee and thinks, oh, look at that little pollinator. You know, I wonder how many fruits that bee has pollinated, how many beautiful flowers that bee has facilitated, how many plants that bee has helped. And the bee is just an example. The bee is just an example, an analogy to what's going on in our world right now. You can think of this, you can think of COVID, you can think of this war, you can think of the separation, you can think of the class divides, you can think of the, human rights violations, as something that's completely horrible and something to be feared. And I'm not saying that they're good, I'm like absolutely not. Or you can think of it as humanity waking up to the injustices, you waking up to these injustices and knowing in your heart that that is no longer the way we want to continue. Changing that perception, changing that feeling inside of your body of outrage and anger into one of we can do better, we can change, we can literally change the entire world, friend. And it starts with you. Starts with you. Like I'm literally just another dude, right? I'm just another dude. Wat is so? Kan julle net daai venster toemaak? Julle maak baie geraas. Ons het 19000 mense wat kyk. Die venster was toe gewees vir 'n rede. Dankie. Sorry friends. Family is very close to the stream today. You get to hear some of the background noises as well, some loving background noises. Lolo, thank you for joining me. Bro, when I was in South Africa, I wish you had hooked me up with some of that bud. Friend, if you ever come to South Africa, I'll give you bud for free. We don't sell in South Africa. Well, you're not allowed to sell in South Africa, but you are allowed to give bud away to friends and you are allowed to grow for yourself, both of which I do. So if you ever do want to try and find yourself all the way in South Africa, you have some bud for you to smoke. You are loved, friend. You are cared for. You are seen. No matter where you are. Yeah. Yeah. Lolo, thank you, friend. Mindless Row, thank you for joining us from South Africa. Of course, he's cleaning weed. He's cleaning weed this morning. Of course, yes. It's the second day I'm smoking weed for in the first time in 24 days. I took a little bit of a break, and I do take breaks every now and then, and I felt like it was time for me to take a break again. And you'll see, I'm literally maybe gonna take 3 puffs of that joint, and I'm gonna be devastated. But that's just the nature of it. If you don't smoke, then it affects you a little bit more when you do smoke. And it's all about moderation at the end of the day, about allowing yourself experiences, but not overdoing those experiences. And by doing it with intention, like today's intention is to be here, right? So I've literally written down here on this little Garrick, and around, this little filter, I have little infinity symbols. Extra power, magic, if you want to call it that. You're literally spelling, they call it spelling for a reason. Using your words, you create a visceral and physical response in the outside world. As you say things, you're actually putting energetic waves into this world, and then we think about stuff like the butterfly effect, and we're like, oh, the flap of a wing of a butterfly at the other side of the world can create tsunamis on this side of the world, and that's a butterfly. Think about what you can do. Think about what you can do, friend. Think about the power that you're capable of. And just if you think about it, you'll realize, yeah, maybe, just maybe, I'm not just this poor little me, this small little human body, this physical existence. Where do you go when you dream? Do you ask yourself that? Where do you go when you dream? Have you ever noticed yourself breathing in your dreams? Yeah. Like we can get so into spirit, and if you get so into flow, you literally forget about breathing. And yet breath is something that is always present with us. You have breathed through everything that you've ever been through. Every difficult situation, every feeling of separation, every moment that you felt like you don't know what to do, you don't know what's going to come next, you anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. You breathe. Feeling, your abdomen expand and collapse back. feeling the air as it rushes past the side of your nostril, imagining each and every single breath, each and every single inhale as you choosing life on a real level. You are choosing life right now. And instead of it just being, like like literally neurons that have been wired together to kind of breathe you in that pattern, you have the ability to take control of that. And by taking control of that in this moment, realizing that you're breathing, realizing what breath means. Breath means life. So you're choosing to be alive. It's happening for you almost. It's happening on an automatic level. And yet you can choose to do that. You've chosen to be alive. That's why you're here. That's why you're in this world. That's why you're, experiencing this experience that you are right now. Because you've chosen to be alive. And just taking almost responsibility. I know that word, has a little bit of stigma attached to it as well. But if you take responsibility for being alive, take responsibility for the lessons you're going to learn, take responsibility for the situations you find yourself in, it gives you a sense of freedom, which is counterintuitive. Almost as counterintuitive as leaving my lighter when I want to smoke a joint. Uh, Papa, Rudo, kan jy vir my asseblief die lighter bring? Kan jy vir die lighter bring? Fortunately, I have siblings. Let's see if one of my siblings will bring me a lighter. Damn, big pot. It is a nice one, friend. Kate, thank you for joining me. Virtual surround. No way you're live on Reddit. Am I not live on Reddit? How am I on Reddit? Let's blaze it, bro. I'm so sorry. Like, there might be some of you gaining extreme amounts of anxiety for me not, lighting this up by now. But I do take my time rolling. And now I'm taking some time waiting for a lighter to get here as well. Smoking pottery. I do feel like it's an art, like really spending some time with it, getting it to be perfect. And there's no such thing as perfect, obviously. But trying to get as close to it as possible is always fun. Love starting the day with you. Love having you here, friend. Thank you so much. Dankie my boeta. Ek waardeer dit. Ek het ten minste volgemaak vandag. Nee, ek's reg, dankie. Hierdie sal ook werk. Sus. Thank you for the wholesome friend. It's all perfect, friends. That it is. You're perfect. You. In this moment, you're like, me? Yeah. Yes. You are perfectly where you're supposed to be. And if you can accept that, if you can admit that to yourself, you can free yourself. Seeing you grind has made me thirsty for plant. I quit next week. Not today. No, friend. Don't quit. Don't quit because you have to. Do it because you care about yourself. If you've been overdoing it, if you've been, pushing yourself into this usage pattern, just take a break because you feel like you need to. Like, yeah, I really enjoy spending time with Mrs. Mary Jane. So because I like spending time with her, and the way that I'm spending time with her seems to be abusive, like, oh, I'm gonna put some more weed in this bowl, smoke some more weed, and then 10 minutes later, maybe smoke some more weed. Then it feels like you're just, chasing something. But if you can do it in moderation, and I think every single time I allow myself some breaks, I'm scared of lighting this because of the moderation that I've implemented in my life. But I guess there's no time like the present. To being here, friends, to being here in this moment with one another in a loving way. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. I genuinely do. And I'll tell you why in a second. Damn it. This thing has like a little torch. And so not like a normal lighter. And this might trigger some people as well. You're burning the weed instead of smoking it. How dare you? There we go. So, how can I say I love you without knowing you? Right? Right? You're asking? Sure. the way I say that, or at least the understanding that I implement when I say that, is this belief that we all share the same I. You know, you can think of it as an I, as an I, like an actual I. You can think of it as the I when you say I am, etc., etc. You know, add your name here. I am Meltmore. You know, and that's the ego attachment that I've made to the I. But fundamentally, first and foremost, we are that I, the awareness of, the witnesser. And then we have all of these attachments that come along with it. And I believe that all I am is the I that we are, you know, that same I. And then when I say I love myself, I love I. And that I, being in you, I can say I love you without like a smidgen of lie, without a smidgen. Dead. He looks like an IT entrepreneur from Silicon Valley trying to bamboozle you to invest in a startup. Yes, now that you've, man, I wanted to get into character. Now that you've they caught me out, like I have this amazing investment opportunity. I really don't. Well, I have a Patreon account. You know, if you really want to support me, I have a Patreon account. And if you like pretty things, I make pretty things. And then I post the pretty things I make on my Patreon account every single day. So for as little as $1, you can see all of the pretty things I make. There you go, friend. You've been got. Silicon Valley dude got you to invest into a company. Thank you though, friend. I appreciate the love. Interconnected. It makes me feel loved. You are loved. Pope to King. Thank you for joining me. It makes me feel like I'm watching a Reddit live stream. Yes, you are, friend. Likable fellow. No, you. Right on. I'm just your mirror. Uh, do these guys look like Melt? I don't know. I don't know either, actually. Aiden, you're right. I think any NEA and Kleiner gave him 50 million a piece. Yes! $50 million a piece? Yes! $100 million. How much money is that? Oh goodness, my brain has not even gotten close to thinking about money like that. 50 million bucks. How many people can you help with 50 million bucks? Oh goodness. How many businesses can you start? Oh, you see. Hey Dan, hey Neo. Thank you for joining me here on the YouTube. I don't think I've seen you here before. I appreciate you. I'm like 20 minutes behind on the Reddit comments. I'm coming. I'm coming, friends. I'm coming. Little by little. Remind me of my aunt. Thank you, friend. So much love to you. Bless you as well, Gen Z. Marcus Shkreli? Marcus Aurelius. You know, he was a Roman emperor. One of at while he was alive, he was the most powerful man on planet Earth. And not only was he a powerful man, but he was also, at least in my opinion, having seen apparently what he wrote and what he was thinking, I believe he was one of the wisest men on planet Earth as well. And in my world, that's why I kind of mentioned him. In my world, in my ego perspective, I think of Marcus Aurelius as this, you know, like figure, you know, of like what human success can look like. And then I read something like that. I read this quote of every single life is as significant as every other single life. It just brings, you know, me and Marcus Aurelius back to us being human beings, looking back and forth into each other's eyes. You know, instead of him being this figure, oh, he's just a human being, like I am, like you are. Anyone can do and be anything. Yes, I agree completely. You're awesome. I just found out about you on Reddit. Wish you all the best and good luck, Neo. Thank you, friend. We're in this journey together now, man. You know, like I've been doing this for a few days now, just a few days, and like we're gonna do it for a few more days. We'll see. I appreciate you joining us, brother Bear. Oh yeah, tell this pseudo life coach mumbo jumbo to people getting bombed in Ukraine, friend. Like, what are you telling them? What are you telling the people getting bombed in Ukraine? Like, do you think what you're telling them is better? Because if we had to go apples for apples, I would rather be telling them what I'm saying right now than telling them anything else. What else could I tell them, dude? Yossi, I love you. I love you so much. But we're trying to share love with one another, friend. These things are happening, right? They have happened. Human suffering has been a thing for all of existence. And the only way that we've ever kind of like gotten through that is with community, with love for one another. So upon realizing that fact, we choose what we want to do: love one another or create more turmoil, more angst, more, outrage inside of ourselves. A man does not really begin to be alive until he has lost himself, until has released the anxious grasp that he normally holds upon his life, his property, his reputation and position. Alan Watts, dude, man, Alan Watts is one of my big inspirations as well. Thank you for the 1111, Natalie. And I found you, of course, my friend, perfectly in sync. So much love to you, Natalie. Do you think any kind of information should be censored? I I believe that information shouldn't be censored, but the problem is with information being widely available is there are parties that have certain agendas. And like with enough loud individuals about a certain piece of information, that can basically shape narrative of people who aren't willing to either go that far in depth with the information, or like, okay, so I want to say something, and I think you understand what I'm trying to say. But what I would say instead is, I think with the rise of AI, even though I know that's controversial, it might get better because we might even have more like data points. Like with AI, with proper AI, we'd actually be able to use the data points that the information hold in themselves as well and see how people are reacting. And that could be at the same time detrimental because it can create kind of like separated mindsets where people are like, oh, this is how people are reacting, I should be reacting this way. And that already happens if you look at Twitter cancel threads. It's complicated. It's like that's it depends, I guess, is the answer to that question. It's so complicated. I feel, if anything, information shouldn't be censored, but we should be encouraged to try and find the right information or to try and find good information. And good information is different to different people. But we, on some level, intrinsically know what good information is as well. That's a good question, Adopted. I'll have to spend more time thinking about that one because I do not completely have the answer yet. Thank you. Thank you for the saying hello, friend. Interesting. No, you. 911 here. Schmogs, you're in sync, friend. Thank you for joining me. What happened after the heat death? What happens after the heat death of the universe? So, like, I've thought about that question a lot as well. The one of the theories I feel has made a little bit of sense to me is this one of black holes collapsing into black holes, and then it basically becoming some sort of super black hole. But with that thinking, it doesn't even get close to accounting for the expansion of the universe and those black holes being so far away from one another that they can never collapse into themselves. But let's say there is a contraction of the universe again, and then as this universe contracts, all of these black holes kind of merge into one another, and then that black hole, having all of the matter that the universe originally contained in it, being able to literally pull time and light into it as well. Light cannot even escape its gravity. It basically either with Hawking radiation completely collapses, or with the recontraction of the universe gets squeezed, and then upon it reaching a point of like infinitely smallness, it explodes again and recreates the universe. That's the closest I've gotten to thinking about it, friend. But that is complete conjecture. It's probably 100% wrong as well. If I had to talk to an actual physicist right now, he'd be like, "Bruh, you have no idea how stupid that is." I don't. You're right, Mr. Physicist. How stupid is it? Please tell me. But there's no Mr. Physicist here. If Mr. Physicist is in the chat right now, please do let me know. You are just the entire universe experiencing what it's like to be you right here, right now. There, Aiden. Thank you, brother Base. So beautifully put. So I want to read that again. Because I was trying to explain that, and Aiden literally summed it up in such a beautiful sentence. You are just the entire universe experiencing what it's like to be you right here, right now. Can you not? Being here, being here. That's why we do these things. I'm not doing this to escape. I'm not doing this to escape anything. I'm doing it to be here. Mm. Thank you, universe, for providing such beautiful complexities. It's dripping a little bit. Thank you, universe, for the rain as well. Quantum infinity, bruh. Quantum infinity. You are quantum infinity. You're collapsing in this very moment into ones or zeros, into yes or no, into do or don't, into feel or numb, into light or darkness. And the closer you get into collapsing into that one, into that I, into that unity, into that understanding of your oneness with all that is, the closer we get to it. And if we get to it together, we're going to be there together because we're already going there. You cannot not go there. That's the thing. And just upon realizing it, kind of directing yourself towards it and realizing that while you're directing yourself to this oneness, to this light, to this way of living in love, you get to be in parallel, even though they converge eventually. Bear with me. You can be in parallel for so long. You can be in parallel for infinity and still converge. I know. I know. Yeah. Excuse me. Melt more. That's why. That's yeah. Just if your brain is melting, just melt more. Okay. Okay. So by realizing that we're on this path together, we can walk with one another. And even if someone might be going jaggedy in their path, if you're going on your path, you can help them on theirs. And if they're going on their path, they can help you on yours if you're going jaggedy. And we can lean on one another. If we're falling off our path, we can kind of lean on this person to kind of go towards this path. I'm butchering this analogy, but I can see it clearly in my head. And human words don't do it justice. We're here for one another. We're here for one another. We're here for these conversations. We're here to be. Here to be. And you can't ever be anywhere else. So be here now. Man, I like this feeling, this understanding has been so resonant in my life as of late. It's been beautiful. It's been very beautiful. And I want to share this beauty with you, friends. I want you to feel this way as well. To feel love. Just to feel love. Like we deserve to feel love in this world. Why would we feel anything else? It's been long. I'm super behind on my Reddit comments, dude. I'm coming, friends. I'm sorry. I haven't thought of Alan Watts for years. Must reference him again. Oh, Alan Watts is a G. Alan Watts, I think, is one of the biggest igniters, starters of one of my spiritual journey as well. I mean, I was on it and I went to China, and then while I was in China, I really started listening to Alan Watts because I feel like it was such a beautiful escape into myself, listening to his words and the understanding that he was bringing instead of having to be in my environment. Dude, you sound high AF. I mean, I smoked like this much of this joint, dude, and it's like absolutely gazonking. Gazonking? Yes. Gazonking is the word we come up with. Okay, fine. Yeah. We are here. We are here. You. We hear you. I love you so much, Natalie. I know you do, friend. I know you do. And I know you friends know this. I'm not pretending like I'm like, giga enlightened, bringing information that nobody has ever had. We all have had this information. We all have, in this very moment, this information. It's just to remind ourselves of that sometimes. Right? We remind ourselves in so many different ways. Always. So reminding ourselves in conversation, celebrating it, really, really celebrating it. It makes us feel what we what we should be feeling. Love. Alan Watts is my favorite philosopher. Mine too. It's between Alan Watts and Ram Dass. We're like standing, and then Alan Watts is like drinking, and Ram Dass is like in my head, and I'm like, I really love what you say, Alan Watts, but you are not living like you understand what you're saying. Not always, not always. And again, that's complete bias. And I you know what? Let's put it down. Thank you for the imagery, man. What a time to be alive. You chose this time. Why? Why specifically this time? Why not as hunter gatherers? Why not as Egyptians? Why not as ancient Aztecs? Why now? Just ask yourself. Even if you don't believe in any of it, just ask yourself why you're here now. What does it make you feel? It inspires hope in me. It inspires hope in me because I trust myself enough to believe I've made the right decision. When there's that we're going through a lot right now as humanity, and yet alongside this, we're more interconnected than we've ever been, which is such an interesting contrast. Most powerful connections can be made in trauma, and it's almost like we're traumatizing ourselves to connect with one another. And everybody deals with trauma in different ways. Some of us, contract away. Some of us throw ourselves into it, letting ourselves melt into it. Even be expansive, friend. Don't contract. Don't contract away from the ones you love, from the things you love. We deserve love. We deserve love from ourselves as well. Starting from ourselves. Mm. Lava Sands. Lava Love sounds like a cool brand name, right? I thought the exact same thing. Sounds amazing. Philosophy is pointless. Is it pointless? If philosophy is pointless, why do humans keep doing it? Why do humans keep doing it? For as long as we've existed, humans are like, yeah, philosophies. Let's do it. Toast Melost, it's so nice to have you here, friend. I'm going to become present with you, friends. Completely present. Yes, you only know. Oh goodness. Yes. Oh, I just hit the bottom. I was going for it. Ninja Peach, eat it. Beloved friend, thank you for joining me. Sanctioned Basher, if you can spend 40 bucks a month more, power to you. Most stoners I know spend way more. I don't spend a dollar. I mean, that's a lie. Well, technically not. I haven't spent a dollar. Like I asked my friends to buy me rolling papers for my 23rd birthday last year, and I thought they were gonna like buy me, 2 packs for the weekend, and they bought me I think 28, 28 or 24, somewhere in that range. So yeah, I've been set for rolling papers for a while now. So I haven't spent even a dollar on smoking. I grow for myself as well, and it should be that way. Eventually, hopefully, that the people that can grow for themselves get encouraged to do so, and then they grow enough to actually, share with other people. Because I have more weed than I can smoke. Done. I have to share it. I do share it for that reason. I hope that you can take some time for some deep self-reflection. It would really serve you well. Oh yes, it will. Basher, sanction, Basher. Like, love is true, friend. That's what we live by in this space. It's very simple. If there's no rules, there's only a single statement that we live by. That love is true. And there are 3 cosmic laws of the universe. Like, if you want to live into alignment, it's love, serve, and positivity. Contributing, adding, plussing, infinitying. Mm. Oh, you're not gonna want to see what's being said down here, Mel. I'm here for it. I'm here. Ah, Dead Girl Kristen. I mean, I would have missed Dead Girl Kristen because I have 10 minutes left. I have 10 minutes left to be here, and then I have to go to class. Caffeine and sugar are pretty hard to quit for me. Caffeine is a difficult one for me as well, Lane. Sugar, I have gained some leeway with, a little bit of leeway with, and the only way that I really win is if I eat solid foods. You know, I fill myself with solid foods, and then I'm okay. Never less stressed and good. Maybe you were these during times at a different individual. Oh yes, Alexandre, all of it, all of infinity. And yet you are in this moment, in this awareness, to have this question asked to you. You know that it's been a while since I saw someone who had so much positive energy share so easily. Thank you, Neo. Thank you, friend. Thank you. You're the one feeling the positivity. I'm just trying to share it. And the fact that you're here in this moment, that's I should be thanking you. Absolutely, unequivocally. So thank you, friend. I appreciate you sharing positivity as well. I'm just a mirror to you. Remember that. What's your take on experience of no self? The experience of no self, I feel it's just the contrast of separation. You can that's my take on it. It's just an experience of separation, and some people are very scared of that. I believe that's the ultimate fear, is being like separation. So separation is, or it gets connected into the fear of death, the fear of not being worthy, and the fear of not being good enough. All of that is separation, because you getting separated from yourself, from what you're supposed to be, is what you're afraid of. Our shared moments are true bliss. There we go. There we go, friend. Thank you for sharing that love. Heather, you're right, Melt. It's like a group therapy. We all handle it differently and may deal with our own stuffs, but important thing is we keep showing up. It's the most important thing. It really is, Heather. And I'm so happy that you can bring that message as well. That's why I show up every day. If I don't want to, I ask myself, is love true? Just that simple. Hmm? And then I'm like, uh, yes. Oh, okay. Well, love is true. And then I'm like, well, love is true. So love is true. And then we show up. It's so easy. All we have to do is show up, and we'll find that. You will find that. We have found that, friends, and I'm so happy to have find it. With one another, because you friends are that fact. You friends are that love that is true. For me, with me showing up. You see what I mean? Infinity. It goes back and forth. It does not stop. For real, consider the THC is naturally occurring component of a plant that our bodies have receptors for, the endocannabinoid system, of course. For maybe enhanced introspection is essential human condition. Dude, I'm completely on that level with you. And that's why I felt I had to smoke today. I didn't know. No, you can't. I'm wearing my necklace again. This crystal, yo, like if you friends remember the interview I did with Tate, you'll see a photo of me at a music festival in 2018 wearing this necklace. And it broke at the end of 2019, and I haven't been able to fix it since. And then yesterday, I took the old headpiece off, and today I made a new one. And now, I get to have this crystal with me again. It has so much attached to it. The person who sold it to me passed away as well. He was a very old, like hippie dude that was like selling these crystal necklaces at this festival, and he had such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful smile. He wouldn't say much, but he would just, be there, completely sober, just watching these people, and he's been doing it for years. And like the necklace that he made, the piece that he made also had like his fingerprints in it, but unfortunately it broke off, and I had to remove that piece and recreate one. So there's so much experience that has gone with me while I was wearing this, and there is so much more that I'm going to experience wearing this, that every single time I think about this little crystal, I think about all of the information it has experienced with me. And I also chose the colors, blue and like technically the purple necklace, and then like some pink purplish dots on it, as it's close to my throat, and wanting it to activate my throat chakra, being able to speak eloquently, articulately, with precision, trying to say what I want to say. Well, not even say what I want to say, but say what I see, even, which can be very difficult sometimes. And then also to be able to listen, to be receptive to information. Isaac saying, the narrative here is all encompassing. We appreciate your perspective, but it comes across harsh and accusatory. Here are many people sharing their positive experiences with weed, their next weed fix. People who smoke weed doing so in order to get something from them. That's just what it does to people. And there are drugs that can compel you to do so because of severe withdrawal systems and the way they make you feel when you're on them. Like meth is one of them. Meth is one of the worst ones because it creates this unbearable side effect of not being able to get it while having this almost like outer worldy things are more interesting apparently. And it's it makes me sad. Like I've been watching Breaking Bad again. Like Breaking Bad is a very crazy example. Is it Breaking Bad? Yeah, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I don't think Better Call Saul has too much of that other side actually. Breaking Bad specifically is what I've been watching. I rewatched it recently. I'm on season 5 right now, so almost in the like finished stretch. It's crazy. It's crazy to see into that world, and it's probably not the perfect representation of how things are, obviously. But the drug itself is something that's so dangerous. And THC is not that. It's definitely not that, dude. It's something that has come along with us. The reason it is the way that it is because humans have been bringing it alongside with us. Realize that. Just think about that for a second. Like the same as our foods. We've been bringing these plants with us. And if a plant is intelligent, the best way to get it to have the most of its species and to continue on in existence, even when it can't live on this planet anymore, is to befriend the human being. And marijuana has befriended the human being. There's no meth trees. Unfortunately for the meth heads, there's no meth trees, but there are marijuana plants. Love is the fiber of our being. The rest is adjacent to assimilation, the experience of the experience. Love is true. Thank you for saying that. Love, man, that goes into the book of things worth saying. And I have to go very soon, and I'm so sorry, friends. I'm studying to become a yogi. It sounds so crazy saying that, but I'm gonna become a yoga teacher very soon. Love is the fiber of our being. It's adjacent to the simulation, the experience of the experience. Dude, man, that makes my brain feel things. Oh, sick. Thank you for that, friend. Hey, what? What's it? What's the You're so dramatic. There's nothing. Nils says, I appreciate your story. I don't appreciate the attacks. I'm sure everyone else feels the same. Yeah, friend, like love is true. Just live into that fact and we'll all be a little bit happier. Friends, I see you. Len, Kira Burb, Jackson, Kami, Jovan, Jojo. It's been a while, friend. Love to you. Asher, we see you, friend. Know that at least. A well-behaved troll, I see you as well, friend. Okay, performer, see you, friend. Heather, I see you. Aiden, I see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Rabbit, I see you, friend. Thank you for joining us as well. Nerdy, well-behaved again. Everything. Hey, it's Anna K. I see you, friend. So much love to you. Thank you for joining us. Kristen, it's so nice having you here today. Nils again. Twan, TWN, I'll call you Twin. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's nice to have you friends here. Thank you for having spent this moment with me. You're loved. That dude says, dude, you're great. Greetings from the Netherlands. No, you, friend. I'm just you, but me. Everything you see in me is in you. It's in you. Thank you, friends, for being here with me. I love and appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I do this every day. Every single day. Into infinity. Love is true. Goodbye, everyone. Love you, friends.